DR Congo crisis. Russia condemns Western silence on captured European mercenaries. A Russian envoy at the UN has condemned the silence by Western countries following the recent surrender of European mercenaries who were recruited by the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo to fight the M23 rebels in the eastern part of the country. Close to 300 Romanian mercenaries were last month facilitated through Rwanda to return to the country after they were caught and disarmed by M23 fighters after they were found on the front line fighting alongside Congolese soldiers and other militia groups. During a special sitting of the UN Security Council held on Wednesday to discuss the security crisis in the east of DR Congo, Russia's permanent representative Vasily Nebensia said that the silence of European states and America was at odds with their declared beliefs. We also they surrender weapons to MONUSCO peacekeepers, and footage of the subsequent transportation of European mercenaries to Kigali was broadcast around the world. We believe that those events do not entirely correspond to how Russia views the UNSC's mandate of the mission, he said. Kinshasa called out. Meanwhile, during the same session, Rwanda accused the DR Congo leadership of undermining regional peace initiatives by avoiding direct engagement with African-led mechanisms and instead seeking intervention from elsewhere. Rwanda's permanent representative to the UN, Ernest Rwamucyo, expressed concern over Kinshasa's disinterest in essential region-led peace talks, warning that such actions exacerbate instability in eastern DR Congo. Despite the critical nature of recent regional discussions, the DRC has consistently opted for a virtual presence or outright disengagement, Rwamucyo noted. He highlighted that while regional leaders convened last week in Addis Ababa for African Union Summit to address security issues, President Felix Tshisekedi attended the Munich Security Conference advocating for sanctions against Rwanda rather than participating in direct dialogue. Tshisekedi was equally absent at the summit that had earlier convened in Dar es Salaam on February 8, which he opted to attend virtually while other heads of state attended in person. The summit, which was convened after the city of Goma fell to the M23 rebels, sought to find a peaceful solution to the conflict. The Congolese president had also skipped an earlier virtual summit by heads of state from the East African community to discuss the same issue. Rwamucyo emphasized the necessity of involving African leaders in resolving the crisis, stating that neglecting regional solutions has historically perpetuated increased instability. This is why Rwanda calls for the full endorsement of the AU-backed EAC SADC Joint Summit outcomes, he asserted. The envoy, like many other speakers during the session, also criticized the Kinshasa government for alliances with armed groups, particularly the FDLR, a militia group linked to the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. At the heart of this crisis is a dangerous alliance between the DRC government and external actors, mainly the FDLR genocidal militia, who have fueled ethnic rhetoric and enabled extremists to thrive for decades, Rwamucyo said. He also pointed to the involvement of Burundian forces, Sami DRC, and European mercenaries as further destabilizing factors. Rwamucyo also raised concerns over Kinshasa's increasing militarization, leading to a lawless environment in the eastern DR Congo. In an effort to counter the offensives by M23, a Congolese outfit fighting against the persecution of marginalized communities in eastern DR Congo, the Kinshasa regime co-opted alongside FDLR a cocktail of local militia groups which they named Wazalendo. He noted that the government's actions have resulted in uncontrolled arms distribution, the rise of militias, and inflammatory rhetoric. from DRC officials. Failure to support regional solutions has exacerbated instability in the past, he warned. The envoy also criticized the DR Congo for arming civilians, including children, and fueling ethnic extremism. These reckless actions are making the situation worse rather than creating a path to peace, he said. Guamocho reaffirmed Rwanda's commitment to regional peace efforts and urged the international community to support African-led initiatives, cautioning against external influences dictating the crisis trajectory. We, as Rwanda, remain fully engaged in these efforts and continue to support them with good faith and full commitment.